Hello, Wear Many Hats listeners. We've got another great episode for you here today. Today, I am joined by somebody who is climbing the ranks within the facilities management industry incredibly quickly. It's an absolute pleasure to be joined today by Mihai Lamba, Head of Estates at Burlington Estates. Hi, Mihai. How you doing?
Hi, good afternoon. Thank you for having me here, guys.
No problem at all.
Great chat we had as well before this. So.
We have, yeah. You're basically our boxing promoter, crazy golf coach, travel agent, and also facilities management guru. Basically, you've got so many skills, Mihai. It's brilliant.
I like the travel agent bit, to be honest.
The travel agent.
Yeah,
to be fair, I do want to use you. I love that idea about not paying for the hotels before you get there. I like that.
Never do that, you know.
Yeah.
I'll teach you some tricks. Not dodgy ones.
Yeah.
Genuine, you know. You just pay on arrival. That's it. That's what you have to
well, I lost so much money during COVID to hotels. Yeah, without a doubt. If I can find a way to make sure I don't lose money, I'll be happy.
And get yourself a credit card that will cover that as well.
I will do. Amex, you said, wasn't it?
Well, I'm not giving names out here.
You're not giving names?
Nope.
No names. Yeah, we're not promoting any particular credit card. You can use any one you want.
Exactly.
Okay, Mihai, listen, thank you very much for joining us. Where have you come from today?
So, I was shocked how quick I got here. So Bond Street.
Oh, right, yeah, it's not
Bond
far.
Street, Oxford. So
Yeah.
Our office is in Mayfair.
Right, nice part of the world.
Quickly stopped on a site that we have over there on Oxford Street.
Right,
Jumped on Bond Street, Central Line, done,
Yeah.
brought the donuts.
yes.
Yeah,
Very
Halloween
nice.
ones.
Yes, very nice donuts. It's basically Fat Man kryptonite, that is. Like, thank you very much. You've ruined my diet for today, Mihai.
Well, it seems to be is going to be a long evening, so we
Yeah.
might need some.
We might need some later. This is true. But such a kind gesture. Thank you very much.
No,
we
that's
really
all right.
appreciate it. Okay, listen, let's get straight into the questions. So why don't we start with, tell us a little bit about your career, how your career has come about. You know, give us the beginning, the middle and the end, you know, where you're at now, where you go.
So, looking at the beginning, I can go all the way back since. So it's not necessarily part of my career, but it led me and giving me an advantage into my career.
Okay,
Calling it like this.
that's fantastic.
Yeah. So my since I was a child, right? I've seen my dad in the industry.
Right,
So more of a contractor side, and then
Right.
later also managing teams
really?
and managing properties, as in in the background. So M&E. So he's been through. I don't know. He was a welder at some point. He was a plumber, and then he had a plumbing company. He was also part of the maintenance teams for Intercontinental,
yeah.
and also he worked in the Caribbeans.
Oh, really?
So here you go. Now it brings me back to the traveling.
Caribbeans? That's not bad.
Exactly.
Yeah. Why did he come back? Did he come out or did
And
he
then,
say that?
yeah, he just went there for a year or so. He had like a huge project. It's a hotel called 7 Stars.
Oh, really? Did you get to go over there?
No, but it's on my list, you know.
It's on the
booked
list.
there. If I go on Google Maps, it's like, I want to go there.
Yeah.
So it's called 7 Stars. It's in Turks and Caicos.
Really?
Yeah,
So what was the work your dad did there?
So they've done the plumbing,
Right.
right, and the bathrooms, the swimming pools over there.
Really?
It's like a huge team, yeah.
Oh, wow. And he was there for 12 months?
He was there for 12 months and they had to finish that in 12 months. So it was a huge team, yeah.
Wow.
And then he managed, again, people from all across the globe.
Right. Okay, that must have been really interesting.
Yeah, so always been into this, always seen pipe works, you know, always seen plant rooms, always knew how a swimming pool works, for
Yeah.
example.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, all the motors, all the filters and so on.
Yeah.
So that helped me a lot. But you see, my dad, he put me through a hospitality career. Kind
Right.
of. He tried to put that into my mind.
Okay.
So I've studied economics in hospitality.
Oh,
I
really?
have a degree in that.
Right.
And then I worked in hospitality for 5-6 years.
Right.
In the end, here in the UK, for Marriott Canary Wharf.
Really? Just to go back a little bit, was there a reason your dad wanted you to go down that route, particularly? Or
He didn't want me to be on the tools.
didn't want you to be
this.
a plumber, basically? Right. Okay.
You
Fair
see?
enough.
It's not that I was not good at it, potentially,
Yeah.
because I haven't really tried it. But, you know, I was giving him tools and so on, you know, when he was,
Yeah.
you know, taking me on a small job, potentially. Or he was like, look, come at the hotel, I'll show you how it works.
Yeah.
You know, I enjoyed it.
Yeah. Of course. Yeah.
And then I've started into the hospitality route. working for Marriott here in Canary Wharf
Right.
at some point.
That's a nice place as well.
Really nice place. Actually, it's a mixed use building. So at the base you have the hotel, and then you have apartments.
Yep.
And then I was a front desk manager over there, and with this set of skills, which are really easy to transfer into the facilities management,
Yeah.
I got the opportunity to move into a less. I don't know. I was thinking about hours when I moved,
Right.
and the amount of hours that you work when I moved into facilities, because I started a junior role or a concierge front desk,
Yeah.
4 on 4 off.
And was that at First Port where you...
That was First Port actually in Canada Water.
It's one of our clients, actually.
Is it?
Yeah, quite interesting.
Massive company. So I worked for them right after they become First Port.
Right.
They were Peveril.
Right, okay.
2014, 2015, somewhere there, I think. 15,
Okay.
16.
Yeah.
So huge estate, 1,000 apartments.
Wow.
And the setup was very light. Only one concierge, one head concierge, and a development manager.
That doesn't seem a lot, does it? For 1,000 apartments.
And then the amount of parcels that we received, the amount of requests, the building was not new anymore.
Yeah.
So, it was busy times over there.
Yeah, I bet so, yeah.
But then, again, I love the rota, 4 on 4 off. You had 4 days off to do whatever you want.
Lots of travelling opportunities there, Mihai.
Lots of overtime as well.
Yeah, true.
You can do a lot of overtime on that, and you get paid for it.
Of course,
at the end of the day.
Yeah.
First Port were amazing.
Yeah.
To be honest, I know a lot of people have different opinions out there, but I really enjoy my time over there. They put me through a concierge academy,
Right.
which I've done with them.
Yeah.
Loads of learning and development. My line manager was amazing.
Yeah.
A young gentleman into the industry, and I had all the support over there that I needed, but it was extremely busy. Also, it wasn't such a software based site. I mean, everything was done on paper.
Oh, really?
Even the parcels that were received, right?
Yeah.
You would log them on a paper.
God,
and then
what is paper? I think we've all forgotten what paper is, haven't we?
Yeah,
and
then you would take some slips, you would put them into the post boxes. It was a hell of a job.
Yeah.
So from there, because I had the hospitality industry, and I was already a manager.
Yeah.
In the hospitality industry, in the hotels. Then always with Marriott, loads of trainings as well.
Yeah.
Online, on site as well.
Yeah.
They were amazing. Yeah, I'm jumping back to Marriott, but
So development's been quite important in your career so far.
up to that point, yes.
Yes.
And after that,
Okay.
well, the whole journey is all about development and
Well, of
learning,
course it is,
right?
yeah.
So I've stayed, I think, with First Port for about 9, 10, 11 months maybe.
Right.
So it felt too busy for me over there.
Okay.
As in, it wasn't right. I wanted a bit more of a quality rather than quantity. So there, 1,000 apartments. You can imagine what it was.
Yeah. So you were kind of just being pulled in all kinds of directions. So, and unfortunately, sometimes when that happens, you can't offer the level of quality service that you would want to.
I was used with the hospitality industry, right, where customer service was at its highest.
Yeah.
And here, customer service was lacking. Right. Because of the overwhelming of people around.
Yeah, of course.
Like this.
Right.
So I accepted after that an offer for a new development.
Right.
Here in the City of London.
Right.
They advertised themselves as a 5 stars, residential development. It was exactly what I needed.
Right.
Where I could put that hospitality skills, customer service.
Yep.
Into the role that I wanted.
Into good use. Yeah.
Exactly.
To use the skills that
I've
you've
seen.
Yeah.
What I thought a concierge over there or a front desk person would apply on their job. And it was the best decision ever.
Right.
I ended up being with Knight Frank.
Yep.
Working on behalf of our client Helical over there.
Right. Okay.
A big company in the city.
Yeah.
I think they have a history of more than 100 years.
Wow.
Many. They're mainly in the commercial though.
Right. Okay.
And then this was their first residential estate.
Oh, really?
So they put a lot of passion and heart into that development.
Yeah, we've had some great guests on the show from Knight Frank actually, in both commercial and residential. So we know them well. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I have some names over there to thank as well for my careers.
Feel free to drop it in if you want to, Mihai.
Is it?
Yeah, of course.
So
if you've got mentors,
one of them was already on your, two of them actually on your podcast previously. Paul Wilson.
Yep.
Amazing line manager for me.
Yeah, he's now at ICMP, obviously.
Exactly.
Yep. Great guest as well on the show. He was a great guest.
Well, I've listened to his podcast, to be honest. Yeah. Then Christopher Wade as well.
Right.
Amazing line manager. Yep. I still work with him at the moment.
Oh, you do?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, fantastic.
And Jason Taylor.
Yeah, JT, we know well.
Everyone knows about JT, head of Central.
Yeah, we keep trying to get him on the show.
Is it?
Yeah, he's proving a very difficult fish to get into the boat, I'm telling you.
No, he's very open and he never said no to anything.
Fantastic guy, without a doubt. I'll get him on eventually. Hear that, JT? I'll get you on.
Yeah, so it was amazing over there. I went through the career steps quite quickly, I think, in my opinion. I met there an estate manager called Gareth Sheehy as well. He's not with Knight Frank anymore.
Right.
And he's seen in me a person, I think, with proactivity.
Yeah.
A person that wants to learn.
Yeah.
Open to challenges.
Yeah.
So he gave me, all his time as well and support. So it's really good.
So would you say that these individuals have been mentors for you throughout your career?
I think they've been mentors and they've been key elements into my development.
Right.
Well, now, of course, you have to build that connection with them as well.
Of course, yeah.
Right? So it's all about what do you bring to the table.
Agreed, yeah.
It's not just, just tell me everything that you know and then that's it. No.
Let me be a sponge.
No, it's not like this. You have to offer something. And
of course you do,
And then, if the other party will offer to you his time and his knowledge.
Yeah, of course.
Then that's all you can ask for.
Yeah.
So I ended up being with Knight Frank for 5 years in total.
Right.
Towards the end of my career with Knight Frank, I also been invited over an operational board.
Right. Yeah, because you at Knight Frank you got promoted on several occasions, didn't you? You were promoted from head concierge to assistant estate manager, and then to estate manager in quite a short period of time, really, which should be applauded. How for our listeners out there that are looking to come into the industry, how did you as an individual manage to put yourself on a path to those promotions? And what type of activities did you do to make yourself stand out as a professional within the industry?
So, in every company, they will offer you a set of learning and development routes, right? Or options or opportunities, right? You don't have, as I applied for me, I have not stopped just with those ones.
Right.
I always did something on top of it.
Right, okay.
Or along it, or something new.
Yeah.
Anything out there available on the market. I mean, these days, you can learn from it anywhere, right?
That's true.
You can go in, Eventbrite as well.
Yeah.
And then you look for seminars, webinars, and then you learn from those. You have so many.
So networking and things like that. You've gone out there into the industry effectively with multiple stakeholders of other businesses, and you've put yourself out there and said, right, I want to learn. I can't just learn here. I need to learn from everywhere.
Yes. Yeah. I'll tell you an interesting one. So whilst I was with Knight Frank, not as an estate manager because there was already a different role, but in the junior roles, what I did. You have the normal networking events within the company, right? And then you can reach out to your colleagues which are on similar positions over there, and then you can share your experiences with them.
Yeah.
Right? So I went out there and I asked them, "Do you mind if I go on your site, or if I come on your site when you are there? Can you give me a walk around your estate?"
Yeah.
Right. So I went on that estate. I picked up things that I thought that I could apply on mine one as well.
Yeah.
So I could get the place where I work or the place where I activate better or improved. But also I would learn for myself as well. Right?
So you actively went out there looking for best practice across other portfolios that you could implement on your site?
At some point I've almost been told of.
Really?
Yeah. Because you don't want people from outside your estate to walk around and so on, right?
Or I can just imagine you peeking round a corner now.
Exactly, and opening the doors that you're not supposed to, and things like that. But then,
fair play to you, because not a lot of people would take that kind of attitude and put themselves out there and really try to learn from other individuals across the sector in terms of what they're doing, which clearly is a reason for your rise within the industry at quite a a swift pace.
And then like that, you meet people as well, and you might meet the right people.
Yeah.
But it's also about meeting the right people at the right time in your career as well.
Yeah.
That could happen, or you might not be so lucky. But you see, at the same time, people have different type of learnings.
Yeah, that's true.
Styles.
We all learn different
So
ways.
I learn like that, right? By seeing things, by experiencing.
You're quite a practical person.
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
And I'll tell you what happened on that as well.
Go on then.
A bit later.
Yeah.
I just want to finish with this.
That's fine.
So there are people over there which will learn by reading a lot, right? So they have the internet out there for them. But I'm like that. So you have first to find out what's your learning style, right? Or you have to experience both.
Yeah.
And then you'll stick with on.
Yeah.
Or you might be, I don't know, a mix of both. Over
Yeah,
there.
yeah, of course.
So I've seen what type I am, what type of learning I have. And then I've stick to that. And this is how it was proved later into my career as well. So for example, I did NIBOSH at some point.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah. And then there are two exams over there, one practical and then one which is a set of questions. And then
Theoretical, yeah.
Exactly. And then the practical, I just passed it flying colors, right?
Yeah.
And then the theoretical one, I've studied so hard.
Yeah.
And I've learned. And then, I've read all about this. Guess what? Failed. Easy.
Yeah, yeah.
Failed just by, 2 points, I think they were. But I failed it.
No.
And then I tried to understand why I failed it and so on. But I was looking wrongly. I shouldn't. Yeah, I went back. I've studied. I said no. I've answered correctly here. I went back to NIBOSH. I've challenged the result and so on. And then, well, it was an experience. But at the end of the day, I think that was wrong.
Right.
What I did later when I passed it, I haven't even stressed myself as much.
Right.
Right. And then when I did the test, I thought about it as in a practical way.
Yeah, yeah.
And then I put my answers from a practical way of thinking.
So
rather than.
Do you think that you probably put too much pressure on yourself first time round?
Yeah.
And that impacted how you performed?
Exactly.
But there's a great lesson there
Great lesson.
for people listening to the show.
Yeah.
Don't take yourself too seriously. Don't put too much pressure on yourself.
No. And I remember myself when I failed that exam, I've learned for days, right? And I was trying to remember things and so on. No, it's not about remembering everything. It's about knowing from where you have to get the information and apply it.
Yeah.
You can't remember everything in life.
This is true. Very true.
Yeah. Well, we spoke about NIBOSH. That's really important. That's part of my development. Also some other trainings such as Irish, so that's something I recommend to everyone which is on a junior role. Yeah, yeah. Within the industry, Irish very important.
Yeah.
And of course, you have various health and safety trainings out there as well.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Fire safety and so on.
Yeah. So have you found NIBOSH to be quite useful in terms of helping you from a career advancement perspective? Yeah, that essential knowledge is giving you core skills that you can take elsewhere.
So NIBOSH was the most in-depth.
Right.
And with the information that you apply on a day-to-day basis, especially on a senior role position, you won't apply to you as much when you're a junior. So that's why you have to take the right trainings at the right time as well. Yeah. And then, for example, when I did NIBOSH, potentially half of the information over there, I already had it.
You already knew it,
Or been through it.
You're doing it on a practical daily basis.
Exactly. But if you do that training early days into your career, you might not understand anything.
No.
And then later in the years, you cannot apply that information that you had it available back then. Yeah. You see, so the right time, the right training, the right people around you as well. But that could be a lucky combination, or it can just happen. But nothing comes to you unless you have the right mindset there as well.
Yeah, completely agree.
You have to be open. Yeah. You see?
Okay.
Again, different styles, different people.
Yeah, but it's great to see that, different learning and development routes from different organisations that you've represented have really helped you in terms of the pursuit of your career to push it forward. So I think one of the takeaways from our listeners is, take any opportunity to learn if you want to advance your career. because it's essential. And, you know, in FM, as you know, you're never going to know everything. There's too many moving parts in the industry to know everything, but a little bit about a lot can be really, really useful.
Yes, and then it's all about knowing where to find that information, knowing the right people to help you out to sort out the challenge that you have as well.
Yeah.
Well, maybe you can resolve it, but then there's always that 10% element that you know you have to get it from someone else.
Yeah, of course.
No matter what.
Yeah.
So you have to stay open all the time.
Yeah. Oh, very good. Okay, so just moving on to a different subject. ESG, environment, social and governance. What's your views on that? And how do you think it has evolved over the last couple of years? And how do you think it will evolve in the future?
So, well, I'm extremely open for ESGs, even since it was, I don't know, so popular. Let's call it like this, right? I think
it's the new health and safety, isn't it? I think.
Yeah, you see, but it's the new health and safety where? Here in the UK, right? Potentially Europe as well.
Yeah.
So yes, UK in general, they've been the leaders on the market for most of the industries out there, right?
Yeah.
So even here, we have to lead, and I think we have to lead by example. And then it seems that we are doing it.
Yeah.
If I look at the, some of the countries on some other continents, no names out there.
Yeah.
I think we are balancing their inefficiency on ESG.
Okay.
Right.
That's an interesting concept.
So yes. So I feel we should do more to compensate for the
lack
not
of
doing.
Right. Okay. That's that's not something that we've discussed. I'd certainly like to explore that a little bit more without naming any names, obviously.
Yeah.
But what an interesting concept that we should do far more because certain countries throughout the world aren't doing enough.
Exactly.
Right.
So, well, this happens, I think, on anything out there. You see, we do have more electric cars these days.
Yeah.
Definitely more electric cars here than in some other countries in the southern hemisphere, for example.
Yeah.
But yeah, someone needs to lead, and I feel that here in the UK we have the potential, we have the right people to do that.
There's certainly the skills, without a doubt. The skills.
We do have the funds as well.
Yeah. Agreed.
Yes, they are not unlimited, but you see, we have a lot more funds than others. Yeah. So we have to channel those funds into the right
into research and development and different ways of working and so on and so forth.
Exactly. And then I'm always thinking about disruptive, not necessarily industries, but different disruptive ways of thinking.
Yeah,
right.
I do love a bit of disruption.
Exactly. So ESG, it's about disruption as well. It's about innovative. It's about bringing new stuff on the plate, on the table.
Yeah.
Actually, I was looking now at the stock market in America, right? And this whole industry it's all red. It's all smashed.
Yeah.
Solar panels. All these manufacturers, everything is down.
Yeah.
I'm also looking into hydrogen.
Right.
I think that's the future, in my opinion.
We were having a chat about
fuel.
Yeah, we were having a chat about that actually last week, weren't we? Because the thing about electric, and it's fantastic and all that stuff, but at the minute we still need the fossil fuels to be burned to pump the electricity into the grid.
Exactly.
So it's not a long-term solution based on the technology that's available at the minute. Whereas hydrogen, it's abundant.
That's the one.
It's everywhere.
It's everywhere, and even outside the planet.
Exactly.
Right. So you can, at some point, will be good enough to go out there and bring resources from other planets.
Exactly.
So hydrogen is out there.
It is. It's everywhere.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, it's the most abundant molecule in the universe, I think. I am right saying that, aren't I?
I believe you're right.
Yeah, I think it is hydrogen. Yeah. Okay.
And with electricity, there's another problem. How can you store it efficiently?
We can't.
Here you go.
That's the biggest
How
issue.
many batteries are you going to build?
Well,
you see?
Well, that's the thing about batteries. They're inefficient, aren't they?
And how much damage you're going to have because of those batteries.
Lithium, cobalt mining.
Exactly.
Completely
what are you going to do? Just bury them and hide them?
Yeah.
You cannot do that.
We can't do that, no.
Yeah. And you know where they're going to be burned? Not in the UK.
No.
And they'll be exported to some other
Probably some of those countries we talked about earlier.
Yeah. Here you go.
Yeah.
So for me, hydrogen is the way.
I agree.
You can create electricity with hydrogen as well. And that's the this fuel source.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm not sure exactly.
We just need somebody to invent a working hydrogen fuel cell that is.
They're out there actually. There's the French manufacturer Renault.
Yeah.
With Nissan.
Right.
They have some cars on hydrogen now.
Yeah.
So they just need the infrastructure over there.
Infrastructure, yeah. Is it still, because it was always quite cost prohibitive, wasn't it? Is it still?
I think it's dangerous as well.
It's
a lot more
mind you,
dangerous.
electric batteries can explode as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they do regularly. And, you know, I think in America, the US, because I think they're the only ones that release the figures, they've got far more electric vehicles than we do, for example. And something like 99% of vehicle fires are because of electric vehicles.
And you know, a lot of in the industry, a lot of residential estates now, even commercial, they are looking at installing these EV chargers in the car parks.
Yeah.
I feel it's not the right way,
No.
in my opinion, because like you said, you need to find ways of containing those fires if they happen.
Yeah.
There's higher risk over there. Insurance are looking at it as well.
Yeah.
The first question that they ask now: have you modified your energy network? Have you installed any EVs? Yes, we did. Well, okay, 10% on your
Exactly, because it could just
on your
go
premium.
wrong.
Exactly. So
It's an interesting concept.
again, I'm thinking about how else can we, think around this. What disruptive idea can we bring into? Because these are the standard ones. Yeah, okay, install the EV chargers, bring an electric car, you change the light bulbs, with some LED ones, which is amazing. Yep, we do that. We do that as well on our estates.
Yeah, of course.
We just did one now with 900 LED bulbs. We've just changed them, and actually went from 50 watts per old bulb to 5 watts.
Wow.
So that's what? A great increase.
I do think
decrease.
I do think that we are far more efficient than we were 10 years ago. Just the country as a whole.
Yep.
But I think facilities management is probably one of the industries that kind of leads the way in it. And I've said this a few times on the show. I think the facilities management industry is actually incredibly good from an environmental, social, and governance perspective. I think we're one of the better industries out there because we have to be quite frank.
We have to be, and then we manage all these matters on behalf of our clients. So we represent our clients. So we need to bring for our clients the good ideas over there, and we need to show improvement.
Yeah, how can we meet these commitments? How can we do things differently? So that's really, really, really good. And so have you ever heard of? I'm going to take it completely sideways here.
Okay.
Have you ever heard of something called 0-point energy?
0-point energy, like
So you know Tesla, not the car, the original Tesla.
Yeah.
Nicholas Tesla.
Nikola.
So Nikolai Tesla. Is it Nikolai? Something like that.
I think I know what you are going to say. Is it about just consuming this energy but producing exactly the same amount of it?
Yes.
Yeah? So just going around the circle.
Effectively, yeah. And also passing that energy throughout the air rather than using lines and things like that. So 0-point energy.
So there's no loss over there as well.
There's no loss of energy because at the minute there's a significant. I think we lose more than 50% of the energy as we transmit it.
Yeah, depends
down
through
the
what
lines
you transfer it as well. It could be
a
copper line, it could be aluminium, could be all sorts.
I don't know the science of it. I'm not going to pretend that I do. But I do know that there's a number of experiments looking at 0-point energy and how that could be a viable alternative to what we do now. But I still,
you see,
if it is something, it'll be a long time down the road. Because even fusion, there's been labs and power stations that have had a viable fusion reaction. They just can't maintain it.
Yeah.
So science is doing some quite interesting things in relation to technology. It's just, I guess, we need it to happen quicker now.
Well, we are. If you look at the history, we are very quick into moving things around these days. 100 years before, we were so behind with so many things, right? I mean, and these days, every single year, we have so many new improvements out there in the market, except in the telephone market. The iPhone is the same for 2-3 years, right?
I've had this argument with a friend of mine a few times.
Here you go. But then I think in 20 years we as a country will be so advanced that we will be able to to support not just one country or two, maybe a whole continent over there.
Really?
Yeah.
Right.
So we can do really, really well. And I know that we have some new power plants, small ones,
Yeah, small nuclear plants
exactly,
aren't they, they're building.
exactly, being
Yeah.
built and so on.
Yeah.
So we're doing pretty well.
Right.
My only concern out there is that even though we are becoming more efficient,
Yeah.
the energy prices are only going up.
Yes.
Higher and higher and higher,
Yeah.
right? So if before we could afford a light bulb which had maybe 100 watts
Yeah.
of energy consumption, we cannot afford that these days.
No.
Right? So we had to bring that to 5 watts,
Yeah.
and we still think it's expensive over there.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
So you see, so it's not just about using less energy.
Yeah.
People will need to feel that in their pocket as
Oh,
well.
don't even get me started on the energy companies. I'm a northerner, I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Oh, I look at my bill every month.
Exactly. So our energy has decreased overall, right?
Yeah.
As in, definitely at home.
In terms of the usage,
you will use more,
Yeah.
less these
Yeah.
days.
Yeah.
But the rates, they are only going up and up. So you're going to pay more.
Well, that's the continued attack on the middle class, I'm afraid, you know that.
So here you go.
Let's not talk politics. Let's not talk politics. We'll be here forever. Okay, so quite interestingly, though, that leads us on to the next question, because AI, so artificial intelligence, I think, can help us with things like energy and looking at new ways to produce energy and things like that as it becomes smarter. Obviously, there's significant usages for it within our world. What's your view on it? Where do you see it taking us?
I'm looking at AI from two perspectives.
Right.
And I know we talked about networking earlier as well.
Yes.
So let me introduce two topics here: networking on AI,
Yeah.
and how networking is being affected by AI.
Right.
Yeah,
Networking on AI. Explain.
I'll tell you.
I'm an avid networker, by the way, so if it's something new, I'm all over it. Go on.
So these days you have everything on the AI platforms, right?
Yeah.
You ask AI, Bob or whatever AI you have. You ask him the question, he will come back with the answers. Not just with the answer, he will also give you a plan.
Yeah.
And you can go further, right?
Yeah.
Well, I'm still young, I hope. But let's say back in the days, you were going to your peers.
I remember those days.
Here you go. So you're going to your friends, you're going to your colleagues, you're going, to your contractors, you're going to human beings
Yeah.
and asking them those questions. How do I do that? And they were having different opinions over there.
That's true.
And then you would pick the one that you thought is the best, right? Or you would get it from the most experienced person over there.
Yeah.
Now you go to AI. You don't need those people anymore. So I feel AI is dangerous from this perspective.
To be fair, that's a very interesting insight.
So
I haven't thought about it like that.
So you won't need your 10 usual connections over there, or people that can help you in your career, day to day. You only need AI.
So you think there's the potential for it to affect jobs quite significantly then?
Yeah. So I feel that you need, as an individual, you need to realize how much you can rely on it, and up to what point. I use AI on day-to-day basis.
I do as well. I'm not going to lie. I think it's a really good tool.
Yeah. I know some people, they are using AI for all their emails.
Really?
Yeah. Right. I refuse to do that.
Yeah, well, I think it takes something away from.
Exactly.
I never use it for emails.
Here you go. But these days, you go out there, you see emails, they are written by AI, and you can see that.
Yeah.
So that's on social and networking, and then the second one was about AI into smart buildings, right?
Yeah.
Maybe? Yeah. So we all know that AI can, and I've seen it on so many of your podcasts as well, people with great wealth of experience, they are talking about smart buildings, how can this light bulb be turned off when, you walk off the building, can count the number of the people into your block, and then shut off potentially some areas as well. So yes, this has to be embraced, or in my opinion at least, has to be embraced as much as possible by the new builds over there.
Yeah.
I know an amazing building is called JJ Mack.
Right.
It's very close to you guys here.
Okay.
It's in Farringdon.
Yeah.
Well, I was told it's the smartest building in London.
Really?
Yep.
Is it?
Well, this is what I was told.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
So I still need to go there and see it. Why I know about it? I know because it's been developed by the previous client that we had.
Right.
Helical PLC.
Right.
So it's on my list to go there.
I would love to see
and
that
see how good they're doing on it.
Right.
You see, and again, like going back to my knife rank experience, if you go out there and you see things, then you can implement them in your
It's very true.
day-to-day operation as well.
Yeah. If you get the opportunity to attend that building, can I come?
Definitely.
Can you extend an invite to myself? I would like to see that as well.
Definitely. Let's do that together. It's very close to you here and close to me.
Yeah, we could do it one day next week. Take a walk in, see how it goes. Yeah.
Great. Yeah.
Okay. So you think that overall AI is going to have a significant impact then, really? Not just on how we work, but also, jobs, how work is done, how we integrate with it and so on. Do you think that these changes will come at pace?
I think these changes will come. Again, it's difficult, you see, because we are different type of people out there. So some potentially which are used in a certain way, they don't even want to hear about AI. Or it's like maybe 20, 30 years ago, bringing the telephones in people's life, right?
The good old BlackBerry.
There you go. Some of them have been, saying no for a couple of years, and then finally they had to realize that, look, it's good. They need it in their life.
Yeah.
Same with AI. It could be 2, 3, 5 years.
Yeah.
Until most of us will use it.
Yeah.
And we will use it without even realizing it.
Yeah.
And it will be just in our life.
I don't know. See, phones, when you go back to phones, when phones become mobile phones, Blackberries, things like that, became part of our everyday working life, suddenly the workday never ended.
See?
I think that had a bit of an impact on society that we don't necessarily. I think that we still don't understand, because we can't remember any time where they weren't available. But to me, common sense would say that if Dave got into the office at 9 in 1970, that's when he started work at 9.
Yeah.
And when Dave left the office at 5, that's when he finished. And then he went home and spent time with his family and so on and so forth. But he wasn't thinking about work. Whereas since the introduction, we can all work from home. I mean, I'm terrible for it. I will read emails and I can't help it, because a couple of reasons. One, I'm noisy, and I think we're all noisy, so we can't help it. And work becomes such a part of your life that you just do it anyway. But has that had a detrimental effect on us? I mean, we don't know, do we?
We don't know, but we definitely meet less people.
What's AI going to do?
Well, I'm telling you what AI, I think, did to me last weekend. They blocked my access to my emails whilst I was outside of the country. I think I had some kind of geolocation, AI, noticing what IP I have and from which country I'm logging in.
Really?
Here you go. So I couldn't. Well, it was good for me, bad for the business.
Not great.
Not great. Yeah.
I thought you were going to say it booked a holiday for me.
No, so now
it's a great deal, and I was going to be like, "Wait, tell me what."
No, so now I'm just trying to find ways of to have that not happening again.
Yeah, of course, yeah. So very interesting take on AI, Mihai. Thank you very much.
You know that actually AI started all the way in the 1950s.
Did it?
Yeah.
Really? Oh, go on then. Give us.
Well, I haven't read the whole thing, but I'm attending this conference on the 15th of November at it's called London Conference at IWFM, I think, or IWFM. They are organizing it.
Right.
By the way, on this one, I'm also a certified member of the IWFM.
Okay. Yeah.
So they're going to talk about AI in this conference. So I'm looking forward for it.
Yeah.
And I think I've pinched this from their advert that the AI starting in the 1950s. So it's on my list to read about it.
Doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, just after the Second World War.
Yeah, well, the internet was the same, wasn't it? Yeah, I think that was very similar.
It was just not available to all of us.
Yeah,
obviously it was a certain level over there.
Yeah. Imagine what the military has now. I bet they're teleporting each other into different countries and that, and we just don't know about it. Do you not think so?
Yeah, I think that would be a very expensive,
Don't know. It wouldn't surprise me. I bet we've probably got a city up on Mars.
Never thought about it.
Nobody tells us. Okay, well that's really interesting. Thank you for your insights on that, Mihai. Just to sort of talk about something slightly different. Going back to IWFM. Okay, do you think that the IWFM is a great vehicle within the industry and would be beneficial to people that were moving into it?
Well, I haven't thought about IWFM as much until I went for NIBOSH.
Right.
You see, so for me the first step was that building the knowledge over there.
Yep.
And then I know IWFM, they have definitely a lot of learning options.
Right.
And then levels where you can obviously learn and then pass the exams and so on.
Yeah.
I'm also aware that the industry is turning their head and eyes towards IWFM.
Yeah.
We as a business, we want that, well, in the near future, at least, we want all our estate managers and also property managers to be, affiliated or,
Right.
members with the IWFM.
Yeah.
Same on the IRPM.
Right.
So I think being part of this groups, this membership, only allows you to learn more, and again have that connection with someone over there, or with the information, or
of course.
have the information readily available for you.
Yeah.
Like I said, IWFM are great for networking as well.
Yeah.
Because you meet people from the industry.
Yeah. From multiple areas of the industry, which is really good.
Exactly. So go for it. Definitely, anyone that can do it, I would strongly encourage.
So you would say that there's significant value for somebody moving into the industry. Brilliant, no problem at all. Okay, so what do you think the biggest opportunities and challenges are in facilities management over the next 5 years? Two-part question, I suppose.
No, not necessarily. I mean, depends from a career perspective. I'm quite happy where I am. I always had this mindset that I need to go to every single step within the career journey.
Yeah.
And why is that? Because I don't want to be asked a question and don't have the answer, or don't know from where I can get that answer.
Yeah.
And then I wanted to see what a concierge does, what a head concierge, what an assistant, an estate manager, estates manager, now head of the estates for Burlington Estates, and then yes, in the end, maybe I will end up, leading the business even further. We have clients now that are approaching us, to look after their sites.
Yeah.
So that's definitely an opportunity. But then to get there, you need a lot of hard work and dedication, and then to make yourself available for people. So opportunities. There are many clients out there which are looking for good people.
Yeah.
Good managers and people that take ownership of their estates, commercial estates, anything.
Yeah.
Because you see, in the residential, people live there 24/7. In commercial, again, except sleeping, you spend most of the time. You have people there all the time. Yeah. So definitely, this is my take on the opportunity side. As in challenges, I think not challenges, but we have to make it better overall in the industry on the compliance side.
Right, that's an interesting one.
We have a lot of compliance now on fire safety. Not necessarily compliance; it's you have to do it.
Well, the regulations.
Yes, the government tells you that you have to do it. You have a moral duty as well, that you have to make sure that your guest residents,
Grenfell.
Exactly. Are safe over there. So I work a lot with developers these days.
Right.
They've signed a recent pledge with the government.
Right.
That they're going to perform remedials on these residential estates.
Right.
They've been targeting mostly the over 18 meters, which are the higher risk blocks.
Yeah.
And also they are now working on the under 18 meters blocks as well. So we have a couple of estates where we are in contact with the largest developers in the country, working on having these blocks safe and sound.
That must be a very interesting sort of project to be involved in.
Exactly, and it's not just the over 18 meters blocks that are high risk, which are going to be part of this project. So that means we have a project over there on the remedials for 5-10 years potentially.
Right. Okay.
So here you go, a challenge and an opportunity.
Yeah, without a doubt, very much so. Okay. Well, look, what's your greatest achievement in your career so far? What do you look back on and go, really proud of that? It could be anything.
I don't tend to look behind as much.
Right.
I look where I am and what can I do right now.
It's a fair comment. Yeah.
So my greatest achievement is the position where I am, the respect I have from people which are around me.
Yeah.
The opportunity to have them around me and helping me out growing my career. Because if you look back, yes, you do things. We all have our own successes, challenges, and so on. But those are done, dusted.
Yeah.
Yes, you have to take your learnings from there, and that's it. Move on. Yes, we did save, I know, £100,000 on this estate because we took the facilities management in-house and not with a third-party company, right?
Yeah.
But that's done and dusted.
Yeah.
Yes, it's good for your CV, but when I recruit, I don't also look. I don't look just at this.
Yeah.
I look at where you are and what's your attitude. We can teach you skills easily.
Yeah, that's
right?
true. Yeah.
But then if your attitude is wrong, then we cannot work with you.
Yeah. Okay. No problem at all. So I'm guessing because you don't look back, the regrets question is a bit pointless then. Any regrets?
I'll tell you an interesting one.
Oh, go on then.
Someone told me, someone very clever, a lot more clever than me, said, Mihai, you have a lot of... he was looking at mistakes that you can do, right? And he said, you can do plenty of mistakes because you are early days into your career. I said, no, if there are mistakes, I will learn from them. So I wouldn't regret them.
No, they're opportunities to learn.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And then others will learn from my mistake as well, hopefully.
Yeah.
Right? Like I learn from others' mistakes if I find out about them.
We all make mistakes, don't we?
But many people hide them.
Yeah, but that is true, actually.
And that's the problem.
Do you know what? I'm very good at not hiding mistakes. If I make a mistake, I'm like, it was me.
Exactly. What can happen?
Again, but
yes. What can happen?
I don't know. Some people just, sometimes I think it's a mixture of things. I think sometimes ego gets in the way, i.e. they don't want to admit that they made a mistake because you can't know that I got something wrong. Or two, there's an element of fear. Are they going to get in trouble?
But that means you're doing constantly mistakes. So there's a problem. There's a problem with you potentially. There's a problem with the people around you. They're not supporting you enough.
Yeah.
You don't have the learning and development that you need to not to have those mistakes, right?
Yeah. So completely agree.
So it's like that. So regrets, not really.
Not really?
No, we're good. We're good with that.
Any regrets of any places that you've visited, holidays that you had that you shouldn't have had?
Yeah. Well, I can't blame the weather, right?
No.
Yeah. So
I could have a good time in a cardboard box, me.
No. All the destinations were good. I told you earlier about Madeira.
Yes.
Right. Please check it out. Yeah. I'm only telling to people in the FM.
Yeah. Only people in
about
FM.
It, because I want to keep it safe.
Because you're going to move there, aren't you?
At some point.
At some point.
So
you can't tell anybody outside of FM, Wear Many Hats listeners. Yeah. It's a state secret. All right.
Yeah. A little island in the Atlantic.
It's beautiful.
Lovely. Beautiful.
I've been there. Beautiful place. Beautiful place. Okay, so on to our final question now, Mihai. What things in life give you the most satisfaction and pleasure, whether that in work, outside of work? What do you like doing? Who are you?
Well, I have family.
Yep.
Right. I have two great daughters.
Yes.
Amazing.
How old?
7 and 4.
Wow.
So all my time outside it's around them and my wife as well. She's supporting me.
Yes.
I think it's very important that you have someone next to you which is obviously taking all your, because you bring problems from work at home all the time.
Yeah.
So you will need someone around, that would either be, okay, I don't want to listen, you deal with it and so on. But then they have to stick with that, or they would just listen and that's it. And you have to say what happened during the day over there. You're not going to take advice, as in work advice, but maybe some life advice.
Yeah, behind every successful person,
exactly,
was a fantastic partner. Yeah, without doubt.
And then I was always into sports. I played football. I played rugby.
Really?
I mentioned to you that.
Right. Okay.
I've been into athletics about 5-6 years.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so obviously now I'm trying to push my daughters to do the things that I haven't done, like tennis, swimming, all these kind of bits.
Yeah.
So
as you can tell, I'm an athlete.
Yeah. Well, yes, I think you are getting ready for Tyson Fury now.
I am. Yeah. Yeah. I think I could take him after Saturday.
Is it?
No, without a doubt. Okay, so obviously travelling's a big thing for you as well.
Yes,
you like
I do like travelling. I think most of the weekends, if I could do it, I would do it. But my missus, she'll be like, "Oh, you have to travel with us as well."
Yes.
So that's
so annoying when they want to come with you, isn't it? Well, just leave me alone. Stay there. I want to go behind.
Good. You have a lot of fun in the airport. Sometimes the kids get lost and so on. You have to find. Yeah.
Sometimes the kids get lost. Anybody seen a kid anyway?
Yeah.
Mihai's here again.
If you hear that,
where's his child?
But no, yeah, I like to go out with a lot of people from the industry.
Yeah.
I have my close friends.
Yes, of course.
Yeah, I'm attending the events, any kind of events, even the weekend ones at the Excel.
Right.
Next year, I'll be at the facilities show. I'm on the advisory board for the facility show at the Excel. So that's
Congratulations.
Firex. Thank you. That's Firex, security,
Yes.
and also health and safety.
Yes, I know. Yeah,
So
very good.
yeah,
Very good.
anything that you have, invite me over. I'll be there.
So you just invite you to. That's just because you want to get away from the wife and kids, in it. That's what.
No one knows that. No.
I'm the same, mate. Don't worry about it.
And I
love you, really.
I do long hours at work, but that's my choice.
Yes, of course. All right, well, listen, Mihai, that's the end of it. Thank you very much. It's been a fantastic podcast. We've touched on subjects and discussed things we haven't discussed before, which is always lovely for us. How did you find it?
Yes, that's great. You've been leading very well, actually.
Yes.
I had absolutely no problem being with you here.
Fantastic.
So yes, try and record the video as well. This one's in the future.
We will. We might get
Please.
you to help us with that, Mihai. It sounds like
I'll help out on the editing bit.
But like I said, I need to lose about 3 stone before we can.
It's not about that. Can be easily resolved.
Yeah, by the way, listeners, he basically said what we can do is get an AI algorithm to slim me out, which would be fine. I said, well, no, because when people meet me, they'll be like, you're not the person on the video. Well, listen, Mihai, thank you very much. It's been an absolute pleasure.
As well.
And thank you to our listeners out there. Another great podcast. Take care. Speak soon.